Hi, I'm Lauren Beckett, Special Projects Manager here at InnoCare. Welcome to our channel and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited about today's webinar, Cost versus Reward. Should I own my own clinic? I have a special guest, Phil Genesis, here with me today, and I guarantee that by the end of these 20 minutes, you'll have a really good idea if you should own your own clinic or continue to work for someone else. If you like this webinar and would like to see more content just like it, hit the thumbs up button below the video and be sure to subscribe to our channel to get a notification every time we go live. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask in the chat box, or if you're watching this later on, in the comments below. Well, let's get started, shall we? Today we'll be going over the pros and cons of owning your own clinic. And this all started from a question our clinic consultants get almost every day. Should I open my own clinic? Today, as I mentioned, I'm joined by Phil Genesis. Phil, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been a practicing physiotherapist for 5 years. I started working for a large physiotherapy chain and took the plunge into owning my own clinic.
So you've done both, worked for someone else and started your own successful clinic.
That's right. I've experienced both sides of employment. I can really see the benefits and disadvantages of both, but I have to say I'm really happy I decided to open my own clinic. I'm excited to share my insights with all of our viewers today.
Great. Well, we've identified 3 personality traits that can predict whether you have the potential to be a successful clinic owner. We'll also explain how those personality traits can be used to answer the following 3 questions. And they are, am I ready to be my own boss? Do I have a plan for my success? And do the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks? Let's start with that first question. Am I ready to be my own boss? It seems like a simple question, right? Who doesn't want to be their own boss?
It's great. You get to be in complete control. You get to put your own business ideas into practice, and most importantly, you can create an environment that you enjoy going to every day.
For sure. I mean, those are amazing positives. Do you think people ever get blindsided by the positive aspects of owning their own business?
Yeah, I think it's easy to focus on the positives like flexible hours and better work-life balance and forget the nitty-gritty of being a small business owner.
That's true. I think it's important for our viewers to remember that they become a small business owner as well as a treating clinician if they choose to open their own clinic.
It can be challenging for a healthcare professional to understand that their practice is also their business. You really have to be honest with yourself, determine how entrepreneurial you really are, and consider all aspects involved with owning a practice.
So when you ask yourself, am I ready to be my own boss? What exactly does that entail?
You might be ready mentally to be your own boss, but you have to prepare for it too. Make sure you have the skills needed to succeed. Have you considered what kind of clinic you'd like to run? How you structure the business from a legal standpoint? Are you prepared to oversee the bookkeeping and accounting? Are you familiar with the labor laws and all college regulations? Do you have management and operations experience? Have you thought about your own company policies, operations, and procedures?
Wow, that's a lot. And when you work as an employee, you don't really have to worry about all of those things all at once.
Absolutely. It's easy to get discouraged from starting your own clinic when you don't feel like you have enough experience or don't immediately know the answer to one of those questions.
True. I think most people would agree it takes a really specific personality type to be successful, and the best bosses are tenacious.
I think as healthcare professionals, we all have it in us. We have the people skills required to manage and lead a team. We're also trained to be methodical by evaluating a patient's injury objectively and finding a solution. It's therefore ingrained in us to be results driven, which I found carried over well to the business side of things.
That's really interesting. But if someone isn't naturally tenacious, should they always work for someone else?
The fact that you're watching this and you're interested in becoming your own boss means you're already starting to demonstrate that personality trait. The rest you can learn as you go.
What do you mean, and how can other clinicians do that?
Being tenacious in business is a learned behavior. You can practice important skills in everyday life. Setbacks are bound to happen. The next time this occurs, use it as an opportunity to learn. Find a solution. Don't dwell on the past. And most importantly, move on.
Right. One thing we haven't fully explained is how being tenacious helps prepare you to become your own boss.
You don't necessarily have to be an expert in all aspects of your business. You have to be honest with yourself and about your own professional limitations and resilient enough to find the solution.
Can you give a real life example of that, Phil?
Sure. Accounting is critical to operating a successful business, but I don't necessarily have to be a bookkeeper in order to succeed. However, I do need to spend the time to find the right person or company to take on that task.
Right. So what you're saying is that being your own boss doesn't mean doing everything yourself.
Absolutely not. To me, being a good boss is understanding what business as a whole and allocating resources appropriately. I physically can't do everything and know everything. What I can do is dedicate the time to finding the right people and guide them to be sure that the right work gets done.
Speaking of the overall vision, that brings us to the next question you should be asking yourself. Do I have a plan for my success?
Before sitting down and coming up with a plan, you should define what success looks like for you. It will be different for every person, and depending on what you want your outcome to be, it'll influence your business plan.
Right. We've mentioned a few already, but what are some of the reasons that someone would want to open a clinic?
There are lots of reasons, but the three main reasons I've seen are profitability. Operating your own clinic while treating means there's no limit on your success. The harder you work, the more you can earn. Flexibility, you can control your own work-life balance. 3, professional growth. You know the industry and want to take on more. Maybe move into more of a managerial role. Regardless of your motive, you need to keep in mind the primary reason you're deciding to open up your own clinic when you come up with a business plan.
But can't a potential clinic owner want all of those three things?
Absolutely. But I find it helpful to prioritize based on what motivates you as an individual and as a leader. Your primary goal should be what gets you up in the morning. It's what you're really passionate about.
It's a good point. You can't fake passion. From my own experience, most clinicians are very passionate about giving quality patient care. Successful business people are passionate about becoming profitable.
And clinic owners need to be a hybrid of both.
Even the ones looking for that work-life balance?
Well, that depends. Do they want work-life balance down the road or immediately? I would say if you're looking for it immediately, the easiest way would be to be a sole practitioner. If you'd like it in 5+ years, you have to dedicate that time initially to get your business ready to run efficiently.
So after you've assessed your ability as a small business owner and defined your business objectives, you start planning?
Yes, I cannot stress how important planning and preparation is to your overall success.
Studies show that businesses fail for two main reasons: inexperienced management and poor planning. The good thing about that is you have control over both of those things.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of potential to owning your own clinic. The need for physiotherapy, chiropractic, massage therapy, and other outpatient rehab services is growing every year in Canada. It can be a really solid investment. Some clinicians see their income double when they become clinic owners.
It's true, but success can never be guaranteed. You really do need to plan, and that can be broken down to 3 parts: before, during, and after opening your clinic.
Let's talk a bit about that. What should you do before opening the clinic?
Number 1, make a business plan. Write it down and set a timeline. You'll probably need a small business loan to cover the cost of startup unless you've been saving a lot of money. A solid business plan with a real timeline will make you more appealing to banks when you're taking on loans.
I guess that also helps you anticipate problems and have solutions ready too, right?
For sure. You can get a business plan template online that will help you cover all the basics of starting a small business. A business plan makes your plans real. I found it helpful for me to stay accountable to myself. I had a timeline that I would hold myself accountable to.
Like setting a goal.
Yes, I didn't just have a dream. I had a real goal and a plan to get there. While passion is what motivates me, I still needed to define my plan in detail. That really helped me get the ball rolling and commit to owning my own clinic.
So what kind of things should a business plan include?
Well, some basic elements, your goals and objectives, your company's mission statement, your staff and office organizational structure, financial projections like how much you can afford to spend on staff, rent, and all the other overhead, your marketing plan to get the word out about your clinic, and an implementation strategy with a timeline.
That's a big time investment. Did it pay off for you?
Yeah, I had a clear vision aligned with my overall business goals and how I was actually going to get there. It also helped me identify areas where I would need help. I had management and clinical experience, but I knew I would need some help with the less desirable parts of owning a business, like staying on top of patient billing, the legal requirements, and marketing.
Sure. I guess owning a small business means a lot of learning.
That's the part I really like. I've read that great entrepreneurs are always learning, and with that, they enjoy the ride. Coincidentally, I find that clinicians often share the same characteristic, and I think that's what makes us naturally good in business.
I would agree. It's so true. You folks are really adaptable.
We need to be. To be a successful clinic owner, you need to be tenacious and flexible.
Seems like a catch-22, doesn't it?
Yes and no. It's great to be tenacious, but you also need to be adaptable if things aren't working. It's a mix of believing in your ability and vision as a business owner, but also knowing when something isn't working and being open to change.
Can you give us an example of that?
Sure. One thing that comes to mind is payroll. Initially, I was stubborn about doing it all myself, and as a result, I was spending a lot of time doing it every week. I dreaded it, and I just knew that there had to be an easier way, because it really wasn't the best use of my own time.
That's where we come in, right?
Yes, that's actually how I found out about InnoCare. I was looking for an affordable payroll service for small business, and I came across the Assist Clinic Partnership Program, which actually addressed a bunch of operational challenges I was having at my clinic.
Like what?
To be honest, I knew I wanted to open up my own clinic, but I also knew I wasn't set up to take on all the administration involved with running a clinic. Staying on top of college guidelines and labor laws while also worrying about getting patients through the door and treating them, it's a lot. And I wanted to ensure my clinic would flourish, not get stuck in the weeds, you know?
I do know. I think another important characteristic to have as an entrepreneur is to know when to delegate. And you've essentially done that with the Assist program.
I have. Assist takes care of everything from my software needs to the MVA and WSIB billing to payroll and extended health benefits for my employees. You even answer the phones for my potential new clients and do digital marketing. It's all the things I didn't want to dedicate time to doing.
That brings us to our final question. Do the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks? Every day, our clinic consultants help clinicians solve operational problems at their clinic. That a client will come to InnoCare for one service like Connect Call Answering and then realize we can help them with a lot of other things too.
I think that's why a good clinic owner needs to be flexible. It's easy to get into a routine and not realize that you're not being as efficient as you could be and that it's actually holding you back. You need to be open to trying new things.
So how does being flexible help you realize whether the benefits outweigh the drawbacks?
Well, in my case, I joined InnoCare's Assist Clinic Partnership Program. It's really like having a business partner, one that helps you with some of the challenges.
That sounds amazing. Considering there's so many benefits to owning your own clinic, such as being your own boss, the freedom to make your own decisions, no limit to your success, your salary is directly determined by your efforts, and you can build something for future generations. The cons of owning your own clinic are financial risk and uncertainty, big investment of time and money, more responsibility, liability, and undesirable tasks, and of course, stressful if you try to do everything yourself. However, you're saying that joining the Assist Partnership Program shields you from the majority of the cons. Can you kind of explain how?
You get a team of people surrounding your clinic. From payroll to software support to marketing, I don't have to worry about it. That means I do less work and can spend my free time treating more patients. Patients, which by the way, InnoCare also helps to send via preferred networks. There is more responsibility, but I have experts who know the legal and college regulation side of the business. I let them worry about that, and I just worry about the day-to-day of running a clinic. And lastly, as I mentioned, by using the Assist Clinic Partnership Program, I've essentially delegated some of the undesirable tasks. That means I focus on the front end of the business, making patients better and keeping them coming back.
Wow, so being flexible really paid off for you. Assist minimizes the risk of being a business owner, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It helps me focus on what I enjoy doing. I can't believe all that you guys do.
It's all about our centralized services. That's how we're able to help so many clinics. For those watching, give us a call. We can give you one-on-one clinic assessment to determine your readiness. And if you're not ready, we can give you the checklist to help you get ready.
Really, if you're ever thinking about opening up a clinic, just give them a call. They're always happy to help.
Thanks, Phil, and thank you everyone who's watching. If you found this video helpful, remember to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more helpful tips. Thanks, everyone. Bye.